Hey guys and girls, welcome back to another exciting episode of All About You. Lately, I noticed that some of the topics I've been discussing have been very controversial. Instead, I noticed that I've been receiving a lot of backlash from some of the community as far as their own thoughts and what they believe relationships should be like. So, similar topics like baggage, what is baggage? Or we can even say about stop validating women. I noticed that a lot of individuals, mainly beta males, have been defending, on the defense, basically stating that you should be able to, compliment a woman whenever, however you want to. It doesn't matter if you seem thirsty. It's literally up to your preference of what you want to do. Well, genius, obviously, it's up to you. I'm not saying that I'm going to control your actions. I have no control over what you do in your life. However, I was stating in that previous video that you need to be very conscious of what you're doing. More importantly, you need to respect and care about yourself more. Again, when you are giving an abundance of compliments towards an individual, basically stating that you want to be with them or how you would treat them if you were with them, with all these bombardments of compliments, like I said, you are just feeding their ego. And it's not going anywhere. It's not benefiting you men by doing this. It's not like you're going to end up sleeping with a girl. All you're doing is just getting that scale even higher and higher and higher in her mind, where she believes that she's even better than what she is. And I'm not saying that you women are not as attractive. Some of you are. But when you're being placed on a pedestal, almost as if you're a queen or a goddess, no, that's not how it is. You're not superior to men in any way, and that was primarily the whole focus of that video. So I was able to show you guys that you can have more respect for yourselves and value your own time, because you're wasting time validating someone else while you could be working on yourself. But anyways, guys, regardless if you didn't like that video or you felt that it wasn't as thoughtful or you weren't able to really learn much out of it, this topic is going to be a little different. I am going to talk primarily about the sad truth that women do not love you. Now, again, I know I'm going to probably get another backlash for this video. This does not apply to all women, okay? There are some women that once they get to know you and once you have a long-lasting relationship, this may take multiple years. We're talking about something where it grows from the beginning into something greater. They may grow that love for you as if you were family. But in today's age, as far as how things are and how people hook up and get with one another, the connections aren't strong, ladies and gentlemen. And you ladies know this. That's why this video is geared more towards the male population. Okay, so when I say women do not love you, what I'm saying is that they don't love you, okay, as in the person. They love what you can do for them. They love how you make them feel, but they don't necessarily love you. Their feelings will change. And it's going to change. You can't really stop it. In fact, the woman herself, wouldn't even really be able to recognize these changes until they already occurred. Emotion is powerful, especially in the females. Not so much as into the males because, we are a little bit built differently, genetically speaking. And of course, being male versus female, there's a lot of differences that's a whole nother video I can talk about. But ultimately, what I'm saying is that what a woman really appreciates is what you're doing for her in the moment. Moment meaning the present. So if you're spending time with her, you're taking her out, you're making her feel special, amazing, that's a plus. You should be doing this for your girl. You should be treating your woman with respect, love, and care. However, know that this is not going to magically make her love you. No. She's loving what you're doing at that moment. Now, fast forward weeks later, months later, years later, depending on how long you even get to last with that person. Because most relationships, the truth is, they are temporary. They're not long everlasting. They're just not. because a lot of people, when they connect with one another, it's too quickly. You meet a person, you end up practically hooking up with them, and then you're in a relationship, and then before you know, you're out of the relationship. And we're not going to play no blame game. The reality is that someone moved on, and more than likely it was the girl you were with. But outside of that, when we talk about the woman loving you, she will love you again for that moment, for that time being that you are sharing some pleasant memories as far as being together. The issue is that, again, it's based on emotion, and emotions change. One moment she can be happy, the next moment disappointed, saddened, and quite frankly, she may just be fed up of you and might want something new. Now, these are things that she won't tell you. Obviously, she wouldn't, because then if she decided to leave you weeks from now, the relationship would end right at that moment. You got to remember that in today's society, things are different. It's not like back then where, again, the men were the ones working and the women were the ones at home. No, guys and girls, things have changed. A lot of women are independent, but sadly, they still have the ideology that they want a man to take care of them. They want a man to court them and, really treat them with that love and care. But they're not attracted to that because most women, they'll give up that opportunity in a heartbeat. If they end up cheating with someone, it's usually due to their emotions. At least that's what they will tell you, and that's what, doctors or relationship experts would tell you. Either that it was the man's fault, he wasn't paying enough attention to her, or, just simply that the man wasn't treating her right, at least the way that she wanted to be treated. And she is correct. At that moment, she may have not wanted to be treated in that fashion, and that man may have let her down. And emotionally, she's not feeling him anymore. So what happens? She goes and she moves on. She either cheats, she either lets him go after X amount of time, she slowly transitions from one relationship to another without the man really noticing. She may be with you in body, but she's not with you emotionally. She's no longer has that connection with you. She could be right in front of you or right beside you, and right now she's thinking of another man. That's the reality. And guys and girls, this is not to put anyone down. It's not to talk poorly about anyone. It's just, again, to bring out reality. Because a lot of individuals are stuck in this mind frame that if they treat a person a certain way, they will be loved. Especially men. Men are suckers for that. A lot of men, where they feel like if I treat this girl right, I do a lot for her. If she has children, you're trying to take, practically ownership of that situation and make sure her kids are good. But that's going to be good for that moment. That moment that you're taking care of them, that moment that you're watching them, that moment that you're doing things for her and her children, or just for her if she doesn't have any kids, that's great. But the next moment, unfortunately, she will practically forget. And I'm not saying forget as in she won't know what you have done for her. She just won't care. The feeling, the emotion will not trigger in her mind or in her heart, so to speak, where it matters. Unfortunately, it doesn't. That's all temporary. And guys, on a side note, you cannot make a woman happy. That's temporary. She has to make herself happy. Yes, ladies, any ladies watching this video, you have to make yourself happy, okay? Trying to make and put responsibility on another human being in order to make you happy, that's pretty selfish. It's not all about you. I know that's the channel's name, but life, it doesn't revolve around you. And I know that because of social media, you may feel that way. Your ego might be a little too high, but you gotta lower it down because you won't ever be happy by a man. A man can temporarily make you happy, whether they give you good sex, they're giving you money, they're helping you in different aspects of your life, or they're showing you the love and affection that you always wanted, or at that moment you want. But there's no way for him to keep you happy. And for you just to up and leave your man or that man, it's, again, selfish. Now, I can't stop you from leaving him because your emotions are your own. I don't control that, and no other man or person for that matter can. But again, this video is just to shed light that women do not love you. They just love the moments that you share with them and how you make them feel. Again, for that specific time period. Later on in the future, she may not be into you. She may not feel the same way about you. So that's just the reality. And don't, go off and, think that all women are bad and all of this. No. Like I said, if you can build a relationship properly, and I'm talking about years, this takes years, guys, become a friend with a person, get to know them, get to know their strengths, their weaknesses, grow with them before you start trying to fuck them, okay? That's a problem that we have as a society. We're quick to have sex, but we're not really getting to know the person. It's literally, we're going from 0 to 100 real quick. And before you know it, you just crash and burn. The relationship itself does. And a lot of you guys that are quote unquote nice guys or beta male, you get cheated on and done wrong, or the relationship, she just walks away from it because, again, you guys really didn't have that moment to connect. And she's used to that because she does that with alpha males, individuals that's all they do. Just get with one another, hook up, have great sex. And, it causes her a lot of anguish and, a lot of confusion because, again, women are driven by emotion. So even if a guy is doing her wrong, that's triggering a sense of a connection with herself. Not necessarily the man, but she's starting to feel this weird and different ways that keeps her connected. And unfortunately, she'll keep following that guy because these emotions don't just stop. It's part of her mental frame. It's part of her well-being. And sadly, that's with all women. It's not just 1 or 2 or 3. No, all women have emotions. Some have different levels of it, and if you're more in tune with your feminine side, your emotions are going to skyrocket. If you haven't noticed, some men are very feminine and they are very emotional. So even they are also included in this video. So if you are, homosexual and you notice that your man is also exhibiting these behaviors, you now know why. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, it's not to cause any chaos. I noticed the other video, there was a misunderstanding, and I hope I broke that down for you. Or you just may not like me and you just want to try to put my shit down, which I can care less. I'm going to still be doing me. I'm still going to be a YouTuber and I'm still going to be growing. So, you might as well troll somewhere else. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. And as always, this channel is all about you.